Sport tonight, a wrap-up of the test between the Black Caps and England ahead of this Thursday's second test at the Basin Reserve in Wellington. Coverage courtesy of the New Zealand Herald.
From start to finish, we were reasonably dominant in our display. I think the way we played was very pleasing. Obviously on day one after day one was washed out, day two to be able to bowl as well as what we did and get the results for it as well was outstanding. I guess from there we were always in front of the game, and I thought obviously the batting display was very pleasing and the wicket clearly dried out. And in England we were able to resist us over those last 2 days. But I thought even up until that last couple of overs there, I still thought we were a red hot crack if we could maybe get into those bowlers with that ball still new. We gave it everything we possibly could, and I thought the bowlers were huge today, being able to stand up and bowl as well as what they did and for as long as what they did as well on a pretty unresponsive pitch, which was obviously it's still only a day 4 pitch. It was a phenomenal effort, and I think they'll be stiff and sore tonight, but they know that they were standing up and trying to bowl us to a win, which is is exactly what you want from your bowling lineup. That first day being washed out, I think we saw a couple of years ago against Pakistan on that last day that we saw a bit of variable bounce and a little bit more reverse swing as the pitch got more abrasive as well. So that if there was a 6 day in this test match, maybe that's what would have unfolded. So I'm certainly not unhappy with the pitch. It was obviously the bowlers, it was hard work for them, but it would have been nice to have seen what it would have done on another day. We did everything we possibly could to get the result. We just came up against a team that was hell-bent on ensuring that they didn't lose, and on a surface like that they would have had to make a few mistakes, I guess, in that second innings. But even still, I thought we went past the bat on numerous occasions, and there was many times where things could have fallen our way on a different day. But no, I look back on that test match, and I think it's an outstanding effort from our team, and it's a standard that we need to be operating at more consistently in Test cricket. Neil was huge today, 40 something overs as a quick. He kept running in. He bowled sort of 9-10 over spells at times as well. I thought he was phenomenal. He obviously got some good reward as well with some wickets, and I thought Bruce Martin as well. He was smart in that first innings. There wasn't much there for him, but he was able to apply enough pressure to England to lead him into dismissals as well. So I thought he was excellent too. Obviously once the dust settles on this test match, we'll turn our attention to the balance for the next one, but I wouldn't expect too much difference, to be honest.
Goes for 4, and what that means is Finn, as night watchman, has gone through to 50.
And his teammates love it. Almost a standing ovation around the ground from England supporters. Big smile on his face, and he's got a blank bat. There's his teammates.
He played at Otago, and I've seen his batting before, and he's certainly worked on it. He was big for them today. He obviously occupied the crease last night and managed to blunt us today as well. Again, it wasn't from the lack of trying from our bowlers, but he found a method which was successful today to be able to blunt the ball. From South Africa, we learnt some lessons, and we knew we wanted to implement them back here against another very good team, and to do it at home, because we know the public's crying out for our test game to improve, and we're crying out for our test game to improve as well. And I think this is a big step for us to be able to, I guess, look at where we were, where we are now, and show ourselves and also our fans as well what we're capable of achieving against good teams too. I guess the challenge now is that being able to back it up for Test 2 and Test 3, and again continue to put yourself in positions where you're dominating and dictating the Test match. And I think that's what we're able to do in this Test, and that's the game's a lot easier when you're dictating rather than being dictated to. Yes, it's early days. I think from my point of view, I've tried to maintain a sense of authenticity with my style of play and captaincy throughout my career, and I don't see that changing in the near future as well. I think like to try and obviously be reasonably creative and be positive in the way we approach the game, and also my captaincy as well. And I think we've also got some pretty good weaponry to be able to utilise that creativity as well.
Yeah, I think when you get bowled out for 160 odd in the first innings on a good wicket, you're always going to be struggling in the game. You're always facing an uphill battle just to save the game. And we certainly felt that after day one. Obviously they're 130 for naught. Pretty much it was damage limitation from there on in. You're not going to win a game well, you're never going to really win a game from that situation unless you bowl them out very cheaply on that third morning. So once they got in, it was very much trying to stop them scoring, which we didn't really do as well as we could have done. And then we knew when we had to bat, we had about 170 overs. It was very similar to the Nagpur situation. I think that was very evident to see, and reminding the lads before that we'd done that before, and there's no reason if we applied the same mindset to that we could do that. Yeah, certainly. They put some pressure on us, but if you look at pretty much all the shots, they were poor shot selection, or probably more poor shot execution, or you pretty much describe as soft dismissals. And if you do that against any team, you're costing mistakes, and we paid the punishment for that. We had started overseas series poorly for a while now, and it's something we wanted to address. We talked about it. Unfortunately, our actions didn't back up our words. And you're right, it's very hard to come back from a game with the situation we found ourselves in. But again, the character that we managed to dig ourselves out of a hole is very pleasing. It was a pretty calm day, even when we lost those couple of wickets just after tea. But it's a funny game, isn't it? And a couple of wickets always just changes the momentum of it, and you always, especially the batting side, you always are putting yourself in that situation. But again, the way Stephen applied himself was fantastic. I certainly didn't know he had that in him. I don't think he did as well, but it was it shows when you really put your mind to something and you're very disciplined on a flat wicket. Anyone can make themselves very hard to get out. I think what he did today showed it was a good selection. We've always known Stephen's got a solid defence, and he showed that today. Bribing Stephen with bribes, if you got a certain number of overs and balls and stuff, seemed to work. So we can apply that again. It'll remain a secret, but he gets well rewarded for his efforts today. He's done very well out of a few of the lads, I think.
Alistair, Brendan McCullum mentioned some of his bowlers are pretty stiff. I mean, you kept them out there for nearly 5 sessions. Do you think that's significant with the Wellington Test 4 days away?
Look, it's part of a series, isn't it? It's part of what happens. If you put miles in any bowler's legs, they're not going to be quite as fresh. But the modern day and the modern professional can bounce back pretty well. If you don't play well, you get punished. And we've been, not lucky in one sense to escape with a draw, certainly. So that's a huge reminder of if you don't perform, you don't deserve to win anything. Especially when you get bowled out of 160 in the first innings, a batting unit, you can start to have negative thoughts and to bounce back straight away. Especially when you've got such a big mountain of time to bat. Yes, on a flat wicket, you can certainly. You don't want that to snowball into an effect, and if we lost a couple of early wickets yesterday, that could have happened. So the character, I'm really happy the way the batting lineup with Stephen Finn has put a really good marker down today.
Sweeps and gets it. Test match century number 24 for Alistair Cook, the English captain, and a wonderful one at that.
Here's a run machine. Just keeps on going. Hasn't even broken sweat yet.
Yeah, certainly. It's always good when you speak to the team beforehand, and you say you want to show some fight and get stuck in, and you can go and do it yourself. With your actions is very important.
Ball straight, got it! He's got it through mid-wicket. Yeah! Says it all. Well played, young man. Well watched, old man.
Well, terrific knock. Innings of application that will mean so much to him. Special moment, your first Test 100 for your country. He's worked so hard. And there goes the emotion of it for Dad.
And I hope he doesn't relax him too much, because that's what his great strength is. His determination, his will to score runs for England or whatever team he's played. And I think that's what's driven him on so far in his career. But what I do hope, he'll give him the confidence, like I know any 100 does for a batter, especially at the next level up in your first one, knowing that you can perform at this level, and it's a big mental hurdle for any batsman.